Hey everybody, I wanted to make a special video. Today something really cool happened, and it's not about the new Beatles White Album 50th anniversary, which I'm super excited for. My copy should be arriving, my 6-disc deluxe edition should be arriving this Friday, so I'm counting down the hours. But today I got some really cool Beatle finds from a friend of mine, and they're really cool. So I'm going to jump right into it right now. So here we go. First things first, I finally got my hands on a genuine, if it's possible for a bootleg to be genuine, a genuine Get Back bootleg. And this is in just pristine condition. This is Get Back with Don't Let Me Down and 9 other songs. This is, of course, a bootleg, and this is comes from the stereo acetate. That I guess it's the Glenn Johns mix. I think it's like the Glenn John mix number 2, possibly. But I mean, it's a bootleg, but it looks super legit. This is the cover that I've really wanted to get for a long time, with the Beatles sitting there at the I guess it's the Manchester EMI headquarters. And it's got the Apple logo, but of course it's a bootleg, so it's not really Apple. And then the back, I think the back is even cooler than the front, to be honest with you. It just looks so legitimate, and it's just really cool. Now the sound quality of this isn't fantastic. For a bootleg, it's very good, but there are other bootlegs that are just far superior as far as sound quality goes. This one is on Blackbird Records, and I looked up online. This is like released sometime around 1986, and it's the same on the other side too there. So really happy to get this, and I got it for a good price. I've seen it in other shops before, but it's like sometimes they want like $100 or at least, you know, $50 or something like that. But since I got it through my friend, I was able to get it for just a really good price, and just really happy to have this. So that's the Beatles Get Back bootleg. Then I got one more bootleg, and this is another one I've been really looking for a long time. This is the Beatles Sessions, and again, this is another one that the packaging on this is just amazing. Even though it's a bootleg, it looks so official. This one's even got like the Parlophone logo up there. It says not for sale. And the back is really cool as well. Again, not for sale. What does that say? Factory sample, not for sale. Sure. But it looks just super legit. And this one, it's just on, I'm not even going to take it out, it's just a black vinyl with a black label. So there's nothing on the label at all. Sound quality on this one is almost identical to the other Sessions album I have of this, which is the same material but just in different order. And the sound quality, it's kind of like muffled is how I would describe it. And again, all of these, except I think for the Christmas Time Is Here Again like edit that's on here, and I think a few other things, like I think How Do You Do It is a little bit shorter. But anyway, most of the stuff on here is available on the anthology series, and all in just fantastic quality. So really the point of buying this is just for the packaging, which is amazing. So again, happy to get this one as well. Now on to the stuff that just blew me away, and hopefully you'll think it's really cool as well. Now, I'm not one who is, I generally think that, for me personally, I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase this, because I know a lot of you out there do collect sealed albums, and you have very strong opinions that you want to keep it sealed, it should be sealed, and then some of you have opinions that why would you keep anything sealed, it should be opened and listened to and enjoyed. I generally, when it comes to my own collecting, I generally don't keep things sealed because I want to listen to it, and I love the audio quality of certain pressings and all that kind of stuff. In this case though, my friend gave me all these, and I'll go over all of them right now. This whole stack of these are sealed Beatles albums. They're all American Capitol pressings, but they're all sealed, and I believe, with the information I looked up on them, it's hard to kind of know exactly what they are. I think they're all the orange label Capitol releases. Sadly, they all have, as you'll see, the hole punched through them, which indicates, I guess, that they were like promo copies or they were used. I think that's usually what that hole means. But they're all sealed and they're all just in just amazing shape, as you'll see here. But I am going to leave all of these sealed because I have every single one of these. I have them in my collection opened, and the records that I have are in fantastic shape. So none of these would be, I mean, they'd be an upgrade, but it'd just be like a very minimal upgrade. So for me, they're more fun to keep sealed. So I'm going to be keeping these all sealed. Here's the first one. This is a Meet the Beatles, of course. And these are all stereo, I do believe, and we'll see if my memory serves me correct. As you can see, of course, it has this hole in there. But there's the back. It's kind of hard because they are sealed, so they're real glossy. Great thing about these is they're pretty straight, which is awesome. Sometimes with these sealed records, and they get like a little, the plastic shrinks over time and it kind of shrinks them up. But these have stayed perfectly pristine. So let's Meet the Beatles. Next up, this is the Beatles' second album, which is one of my favorite early Beatles records. This one's kind of interesting because I've never seen this before. Maybe some of you out there can let me know what's up with this. This one has some writing right here, and it says right there, right? You can see it right there. It says B printed in USA, and then T 2080. Now T 2080 would indicate that that's the mono version of Beatles' second album, because this is ST 2080. But I'm not sure exactly what this means, this little writing right here. If you know what that means, and I haven't really researched it yet all that much myself. Did a quick search for it, but I couldn't really find much. If you know what that means, let me know. I'd be very interested to know. Other than that, this is just the standard Beatles second album that we're all used to seeing. But it's cool to have it in the shrink. Moving on, this is something new. And of all of them, this is the one that is has the most like kind of like bowing going to it, but it's not that at all. You can kind of see it right here where it bows a little bit, but not a big deal. There it is. There's the back. On to Beatles 6, which is another one of my favorite US compilation albums. This is the album that when I was a little kid and my dad had his record collection. This is the one record he didn't have from the Beatles that I was just so amazed that he didn't have it, and I was like the one I was always searching for, and I couldn't find it for some reason. This is like before the internet, so you couldn't just go on the internet and see what it looked like or whatever, find it on eBay. And all the record stores that were local, they didn't have it. Until one day I found it, and it was like it was just amazing. It was like I found a Butcher cover. To me as a little kid, it was like finding a Butcher cover because it was just so rare. So now I still get that feeling anytime I see a Beatles 6 record. I get that feeling like, oh yeah, Beatles 6 is so cool. So it's cool to have this one sealed. And there's the back. And again, like I said, I believe these are the orange Capitol label pressings. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm about 90% certain. If not the orange, they're definitely the maybe the Capitol purple labels. Anyway, moving on. This is the early Beatles. And sadly, this is not a complete set, as I'm sure you've noticed that I skipped over Help. I didn't get Help with this. You'll see that it's missing, I think it's missing Help, Revolver, Yesterday and Today, Rubber Soul, and the White Album are missing. Oh, and Let It Be, I think, is also not in here, but there's the back. This is very cool to have. This is the Beatles Story. Now, this is actually the only record that in this sealed collection that I do not have, or I didn't have before. I've never been able to find a good copy of this. Well, now obviously I have found it, and this one's sealed, and I am going to keep it sealed just because I have a digital version of all the the recordings of this on my computer. I've listened to it before. To me, it's not that interesting. It's just kind of whatever. Just, I'm sure all of you heard this interview record before. So I'm just going to keep it sealed. To me, it's more fun to keep it sealed. So it's the Beatles story. There's the back. It is a drag, but they got the hole punch in there, but whatever, right? Not the biggest deal. This one's very cool. This is, well, we're going out of order now, but that's all right. This is Magical Mystery Tour, of course. And the back. It's just so cool to see these exactly as they would have been in the stores, like in the, I guess the orange labels were like in the mid to late 70s. Yeah, it's just really cool to have them like that. This one, very, very cool. This is, of course, Sgt. Pepper. This one has a hype sticker on here, and it says the original classic, which I think is very cool. I've never seen that before. So, very cool. And this actually has a misprint on the back. I looked this up. So this one I know for sure is the orange label because it has this misprint. It has SMAL 2653 on the back, and it should say SMAS for the stereo version. So that's kind of cool to have a little bit of a misprint and have it sealed like this. This one is definitely worth keeping sealed just because of this sticker, in my opinion. Next up, we got Yellow Submarine. This is the only one that's kind of losing its, what do you call it? Losing its shrink wrap here. It's still pretty much intact though, but there's Yellow Submarine. And it does have this that I don't think my other ones have. I haven't looked it up yet, but maybe I'm wrong. If I am wrong, just ignore this. But this one has this King Features Syndicate Suba Films 68 little thing in there. But as you can see with this one also, see it's right here, the corner is losing some of its shrink, and same with down here, but it's still sealed, which is nice. It's opening up a little bit right there, but other than that, it's still sealed. So I'm going to keep it that way as long as I possibly can. And last but not least, this is, of course, Abbey Road, which is very cool to see in the shrink. And I know Mr. Mayo is a big fan of buying records in the shrink, and I always enjoy his videos when he shows the ones that he picked up. And I always liked how he says it's an upgrade. I got that term from him in the sense of saying, this is an upgrade, because he would say, this is an upgrade because it's in the shrink. And I guess that's kind of what these are as well. Although, for me, I'm not even going to be storing these in my just normal record shelves. I think I'm going to actually put these away, maybe up in my closet, somewhere safe where they're nice and upright and definitely not, folding or anything like that, or being able to bend. Just nice and sturdy. Keep them up there, and just have them. It's fun to look at them, and who knows, maybe someday I will open them up, or maybe I'll give them to somebody that I feel like would really appreciate them. But for now, it's really fun to have these, and yeah, just check them out in the shrink. I don't know, it's just cool. If you're a collector, it's fun to have these kind of I don't know, I guess you'd call them, I guess they're novelties because they're in the shrink, but really, I mean, they're just Beatle albums. Anyway, I was very excited to pick these up. There is a little bit of an extra bit of the story to these. They belong to someone. Actually, I shouldn't even be talking about this because he told me not to say anything, but I kind of can't help it, so I'll leave you on the edge of your seat. All these records that I just showed you belonged to somebody within the Beatles circle. And it comes from their collection, and I was able to get my hands on them, and they mean even more to me because of that. So I can't say who the person is, just because I was told to keep that little bit of information quiet. But if you really must know, I might be able to tell you if you send me a direct message. So anyway, I'm very excited about these, as you can tell, and I hope you enjoy checking this out. Stay tuned for my White Album Deluxe Edition review, or unboxing rather, which I will be doing on Friday when it's supposed to arrive. Fingers crossed. That's it for now. And I look forward to seeing all of your videos for your White Album reviews as well, because I know a lot of you will be making those. Until then, enjoy this zoomed in version, or zoomed in rather, shot of the Beatles' Abbey Road album in the shrink. Look at that beautiful shrink wrap glowing right back at you. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.